In this video, I want to take a look at how downloadable digital products are handled by one of the main plugins we're going to look at in depth later on, WP e-commerce. And we go into our settings here. I'm just going to show screenshots of these. This is our admin panel of the store settings. And for the site as a whole, you set the maximum downloads per file that anyone can have. So for each product, a customer can only download this one time. That's the default setting. You could set it to more if you wanted. Lock downloads to IP address. You want to turn this on. And what it does is it says you've got to come from the same address as the order was placed with. Now that can sometimes be a problem if the person happens to be on a different machine somehow, a different location when they go to do their download than when they made the purchase, although typically that's not going to happen. All right, so let's go take a look at a product here. Now all products come with the box product download on it. Okay, and it's not totally clear from the instructions that this is specifically for downloadable products. You might be thinking, for example, that you could have a downloadable, say, instruction manual that you want people to be able to load while they're looking at the product, or more information or something like that, or even just an image that they can download. It's not totally clear that this is for downloadable products. Okay? But what we've done here is we've uploaded one here, and you can see you could have more than one if you wanted. It says here, select from existing files. Now, you might think that means from the whole of the media library in WordPress, but in fact, it's from a special folder. Every time you upload something from this point here, like this one that I uploaded, it goes to, and I'll show you on the FTP program here, under the Uploads folder of WordPress, there is a folder for WP e-commerce. Now, it says WPSC. That's its prefix that it uses for internal use. So there's a folder in there, and then within it, there's a folder called Downloadables. And that is, in fact, what you're seeing here. That's where this file is, and that's where Select from Existing Files is. So you could choose a downloadable that you've already put onto the site. You could choose it from here. Okay. The other thing to keep in mind is if you have variations of some sort involved with your downloadable product, you have to have a separate downloadable file for each. And that kind of makes sense. I mean, that's why you've got variations. For example, it could be a photograph, and then your variations are a print version, a web version, some other version. You know, you've got these different ones. You'd have to set up a different download file under this link right here. You don't keep adding them. Remember, we had multiple files we could put up here. You don't keep adding them here. You actually add it through this special link, and it will take you to a place to upload it for this particular variant. Okay? Now, you've bought the product, let's say. You've gone through the checkout process. Here's your transaction results. Now, in this case, your purchase is pending. And that's why you're not going to see any link here. WP e-commerce gives a link after you've completed a transaction if the payment has cleared. Okay, now, why isn't that obvious from the purchase is pending? Well, it's because in this paragraph here, it says, thanks for purchasing. Any items will be shipped. Any items that can be downloaded using the links on this page. And then there's no link. And that's a bit confusing. That's because this is a generic paragraph that goes out all the time, no matter what. This is really what you need to pay attention to here, but I think that could be confusing for some customers. Anyway, you'll see the same confusion here. Any items that can be downloaded using the links on this page, and there are no links. That's because this email is for the pending order. So once the payment goes through, and you can see on your sales log here, once you change this to accepted payment, and not just order received, then an email goes out with the download link in it, and you can see it here. Then, of course, if they happen to go back to the transaction results page, which is unlikely, the transaction results page is really for those people who are paying instantly by PayPal, for example, or some other payment processor. When they come back from a successful payment, they will see a link here. As you can see, they can download their product right away. They don't have to wait for the email. Now, if they try to download more than the allotted number of times, remember in our settings back here, we set this to 1 maximum downloads. As soon as I tried to download a second one on my test product, it says download no longer valid. I wish there was a little bit more here that maybe had a link back to the site, and it's a bit hard to see up top here. People might not necessarily notice it. Not super user-friendly. You don't have a lot of control over that unless you actually went in and edited some of the core files in WP eCommerce, and you don't want to be doing that. So that's how WP eCommerce handles digital downloads.